Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building here in the world of Sulani, and it's also for my save file, which I am so excited about. And I'm really excited to share this build with you guys. I think it turned out to be so adorable, and I absolutely just loved the landscaping. I made like this whole garden area that I think is super cute. So hopefully you guys will like it. And yeah, I wanted this house to feel very rustic, and I wanted it to appear as if everything was sort of handmade, so it's not necessarily put together. It's a bit more run down, and it's not a very fancy home, but I really adore it. I think it's so cute, even though it's so like simple. It's such a simple shape of a build. It's so cute, and yeah, I just really enjoyed building this one, and I hope you guys will like it too. And I was trying to think of the personality for the sim that I wanted to have live here, and since they're here at the base of the volcano, I was thinking that they're really into geology. I'm thinking about giving them a career. Like, do you guys think a professor would make sense living here, but not actually have them? Well, I don't think we technically have a professor career. Is it just a teacher? I don't know. I was thinking that they're like a researcher and they're qualified to be a professor, but they're not actively working right now. They're just, they're actively working, but not as a professor. They're just doing research at the moment. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that idea, because I also didn't give them a desk area, and I feel like if you're going to be doing like very detailed research, you'd probably want somewhere to sit down and actually properly like go through your notes and stuff. So maybe they're just doing it more as like a hobby / lifestyle. I don't know exactly how I want to go with it, but I was definitely thinking that they are into the volcano. They're into kind of observing it and all of that kind of stuff, but they're also really into nature. So I used some of those underwater photographs, and they're just, all about living here on the island and being self-sufficient. And I really like that idea, and I just had so much fun decorating it. It was such a fun build to do. I actually didn't plan on sharing this build today. I did build a house for the Pleasant sisters, but that video is like 30 minutes, and when I went to go do the voiceover, the 30-minute voiceover just seemed so daunting to me. So that will be coming soon, probably on Monday. And Saturday I have a collab coming up, which I am so excited to share with you guys. And yeah, so the Pleasant Sisters, if you guys are curious what that build sort of looks like, I did share a sneak peek over on my Twitter. And yeah, I really love that build so much, and I think it turned out so pretty. So yeah, I have lots of builds coming up. I know I've been very flaky the last few weeks, and I've just been really busy, and I also took a break. It's just been, I don't know, it's just been a time for me. It happens, and I am, definitely back. But here you can see I'm decorating the interior. I wanted to get the interior sorted out before I finished all of the landscaping, mostly because I didn't know what I wanted to do with the landscaping. So I was like, I'll just move on to the interior of the house and think about the landscaping while I decorate. And I'm really happy I did that, because I think the landscaping is probably my favorite part of the build. I like the interior too, but it's pretty small, and it's not, I like it, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a very put together build. I don't know, it's hard to explain, because it's like sometimes I really enjoy doing like the very matchy, organized interiors, but I also really love doing these more messy, not put together ones. So it's kind of hard to explain. So I do really like this interior, but I think the landscaping is my favorite part. But over here is going to be the living area. Since we're living off the grid, there's no TV and no computer. And I do have a stove in here at the moment. And when I was play testing it, basically I needed a refrigerator to get some of the items to cook on the stove. I forget exactly how it went, but it doesn't make any sense to me, because there's like nothing you can do with the refrigerator. They don't function off the grid. Like, the functioning off the grid makes zero sense. There's so many lights that should work that still don't work, and it's just so frustrating. So I end up getting rid of the stove altogether, and I make like this fish gutting area, because I realized with having the barbecue outside and the big fire pit with the, I think it's like the banana leaves, you can cook so much food. I don't think if you can have a refrigerator, could you even store food in it, because there's no electricity? I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. So if you do decide to play in this house and you switch it to like a regular home and remove the off-the-grid lot trade, maybe just pretend that it's still off the grid and put a stove and refrigerator like back in here, and then pretend there's solar panels that runs everything, because I don't know, like the shower didn't even seem to work. That might just be a glitch, like maybe it broke in a patch or something, but it says that the shower that I used functions off the grid, but my sim was not getting clean at all. I had her take like 3 showers and like her hygiene didn't increase at all. So I have no idea what is wrong. It's so frustrating. And also like the wooden bathtubs aren't functioning off the grid because there's no plumbing, but I feel like the bath makes way more sense than the shower, because the shower you would have to have like a hose and like a plumbing system to get it to go through the nozzle. I mean, you could definitely make it work off the grid, but like a bathtub seems way easier because you could just get some water and fill up the bathtub with buckets and you could heat it up. I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me, but either way, I definitely wanted to have an off-the-grid house in my save file on this lot, so I decided just to deal with it, but I definitely wanted to talk about those things that I found frustrating because it just doesn't make any sense to me that they would, I don't know, it's just, it frustrates me how it doesn't work very well. As you can probably tell, I don't have the off-the-grid lot trait on right now, so all of the lights that I have overhead are working, but I do remove them as I'm building. I just had them in here so I could see what I was doing and make sure, you know, that everything kind of matched the way I wanted it to. But yeah, over here, as you can see, is going to be the bedroom. I decided to give this sim a single bed. You know, they just live here alone. They don't have a significant other, so they don't need to have room for somebody to share their bed with them. But I think you could definitely rearrange the bedroom or maybe delete a few objects if you wanted to have a double bed in here. Oh, and there I just sized up the skateboards to look like surfboards or boogie boards or something. I absolutely love doing that. I think it looks so cool in these types of builds. And then I also gave them that rack with all of the scuba gear because I definitely imagine this sim scuba dives and snorkels a lot. Like they're definitely probably in the water every single day. And then here I'm trying to hang this lantern from the ceiling. When I went to go take the screenshots, it didn't look quite the way I wanted it to. I mean, it looks okay, but I ended up just dropping it to the ground because it just looked a bit silly. And then I do clutter up the side table, or not the side table, the dresser with a bunch of different things. They also have this bookcase that we got from the university expansion pack, and I thought this was perfect because it definitely looks handmade. It's got like these metal bars and wood planks, and then also the cinder blocks that are holding it up, so I thought that was really cool. And then they do have a fishbowl in here because I thought that they would, you know, like a pet. And then I also gave them a dog food bowl or a cat food bowl. I didn't put a litter box in here because I was definitely imagining that they just live here with their dog. But if you wanted to have a cat, I think you could probably make room for a litter box too. And other than that, I just wanted it to look like they had storage in here. You know, they have boxes of like supplies, camping items, various things. So I used a few of the boxes from Outdoor Retreat and also this box from City Living. So I thought that looked really good. And yeah, I think that's basically it for the bedroom. I may add a few more things, but there I just added the muddy paw prints from cats and dogs. I think I've only ever used that object like one other time, maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks so cute. And yeah, I just really wanted to add that in this build. So I really like that. And then there I'm just adding that turtle crossing sign, or is it turtle crossing or just a turtle caution sign? Probably just a turtle caution sign, but I put that in there. I thought that was super cute. Maybe they go around and put those signs around the island where they've noticed a lot of turtles have been, so people are aware to be cautious of them so they don't hurt them, or maybe they're dangerous turtles and people don't want to go there. I don't know. I thought that was cute. But here you can see is the bathroom, and I went with this shower from Strangerville. I really wanted to use one of the wooden bathtubs, but like I said, they don't function off the grid, which makes no sense to me, but this one does. And this one I think makes sense because it looks like a garden hose is actually hooked to the shower head. It's so cool, and I actually put some like water buckets outside so it looks like they collect the rainwater. And I did that the last time I built an off-the-grid house, so I think that's just like a really cool way of sort of adding that feel of living off the grid. But that's it for the interior, and moving on to the exterior. I really wanted to make it feel like lush and natural, so I was really looking at the surroundings to pick out the plants. I mean, it's mostly just all island living plants, and thankfully now that we have the live edit objects, there are so many more options to make it look more natural. And these lava rock like stone paths, I thought that looked so cool in this build, so I actually make like this whole pathway around their house, and then I use this bamboo fence that I found in the debug menu, and I thought that looked really good. And then I also use some of these sort of like tiki torches, and they're, you know, just to light up the exterior since there's no electricity and they probably don't have any like batteries. I thought the fire was like a great way to do that. And then they also have like a full-on garden, and you'll see that I go through and add some plants. I think I left all of that in because this really wasn't that long of a build. So yeah, I thought you guys might like to see that. It's a pretty good variety of like fruits and vegetables and like berries and stuff, but it's not everything, I don't think, but it's a pretty good variety. But here you can see I'm adding the bamboo fence. At first I was going to fence in the entire lot, but it looked too put together, so I decided to remove bits and pieces of it, make it feel more like pieced together, and maybe it gets destroyed every once in a while by the volcano, because I did decide to put that lot trait on here, so it's kind of a bit dangerous. I did playtest this build for a while to make sure everything was working, and I didn't have any effects from the volcano, so I'm not sure if it's broken or if it's just rare. Let me know if you guys have played around with that and how it works exactly, because I don't think I've really played around with it at all. I think I'm going to give every lot in this area that volcano trait, because I mean they're so close to the volcano. If anything happens, I mean they're gonna be like in the area of what would you call that? I'm not exactly sure, but you know, they're in the area where the volcano would affect them. And I think I'm gonna give the rest of the lots in Sulani the what causes the earthquakes. I'm gonna give them that lot trait because they're not so close to the volcano that they may get like lava or ash. I mean, in real life they probably would, but I'm gonna pretend that they're far enough away that they'll just get some like other geological effects, like some earthquakes or something. So yeah, I like that idea. But here you can see I'm just adding some more plants. I gave them a bicycle, and I also give them the clothesline outside and some bees. And I did play test the wash bucket because I know for a while it was broken to where off the grid you couldn't replace the water because there was no plumbing. This whole like water issue is so frustrating when building off the grid, but thankfully it seemed to work now. So hopefully they will update all of the bathtubs for not having plumbing, because that just really frustrated me. But I also added that fire pit with the banana leaves. And then I have that fish rack, so I have some like fish drying. And then I have this garden area over here, and I just used some like sandy terrain paint and some grassy terrain paint to make it look a bit more natural and kind of blended in. And then I just add more grass and flowers and tropical plants, and I think it looks so pretty. And I also add all these little stone structures everywhere. It looks like they're carved out of lava rock, which looks really cool. I like them a lot. So yeah, here I'm just adding some plants. I add some from the debug menu that I found from Island Living. So we have some pineapples, some coconuts. We also have some, I think it's some sort of root plant. I'm not exactly sure, but you'll see me go into my library. I have a room saved or favorited of a bunch of different plants. I don't think it's every single one, but it's a good variety. So yeah, I add a bunch of those, and then I do have my sim go through and water them and take care of them. So when I upload it to the gallery, they will be there and taken care of. But here you can see I'm going through and adding the plants. There were some spliced plants, and I didn't add any of those. I don't know, I felt kind of weird adding them because I know it's part of the game, but I felt like I just wanted like the single plant. So I go through and find like some grapes and some dragon fruit and some blackberries, and then like carrots and potatoes and tomatoes, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a pretty good variety, and I really like the way it turned out. I think it's so pretty. And then I also replaced that wooden bench that I have over there with a picnic table, because I realized when I barbecued that my sim was just kind of like setting the food on the ground, and I wanted a table for them to sit on, or to set it on and then be able to sit and eat it. And actually you'll notice in the screenshots at the end there's some like floating food around that I didn't notice until like I was completely done making the video and editing. So I was like, we're just gonna leave it there. So you may notice that in the screenshots, but I will delete it before uploading it to the gallery. But here I'm just adding a few more lanterns around the exterior, and then adding the barbecuer and the final few touches to the build. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and I hope you guys do enjoy the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!